This is a summary video, a common denominator here of what's going on, what's important. Is it the election? Is it the left versus the right? Is it the race wars, the black versus the white? No. These are created conditions to sidetrack and capture all your attention. Wouldn't the most important thing be bills or mandates that are introduced to become laws that would change your life or take away your freedoms or rights? Laws, new laws. All right? So take a look at it. A state of emergency is declared and renewed and renewed and renewed at the federal level and at your local state level. A state of emergency gives power in the United States to FEMA. And a big budget, $40 billion. And at the state level, same thing. State of emergency is declared and renewed, and the governor and his lead health official have all the power to introduce temporary mandates that bypass your constitutional rights. So it's bills and mandates being introduced that become permanent law and take your rights and freedoms away. That's what's happening. It doesn't matter who gets in office, you understand? Even the Trump and the QAnon, please take a look at it. It puts you on wait. It tells you to wait because everything's going to be exposed and it's going to handle it so you don't have to do anything. A little research tells you they've been saying that for a couple of years, all right? And we're in the thick of the mess now still. So don't rely on that, all right? We got to track how bills and mandates get introduced to become laws at the federal level and the state level. And the Constitution in the United States, the Constitution, there's constitutional attorneys that are filing suit against governors, and there's groups of people filing lawsuits against unlawful lockdowns, which is really cool, which is something we need to be tracking and following. These are the actions. This is the direction this is going. Understand? You have your personal health and your family's safety, against any like power outage or race riots or whatever this is. But then the next step is, while we still have internet and communication systems, is we're communicating on these issues where legal issues, where violations of the Constitution occur. Because the media is so thick, the propaganda is so pre-planned and so packaged to capture all your attention. It used to be there were think tanks, Brookings Institute, Tavistock, Council on Foreign Relations, Rand Corporation, and so forth. But now you're up against AI, artificial intelligence, quantum computers, with the military, industrial military intelligence. Okay, AI that's watching you and formulating the exact messages, the visuals, the prepackaged propaganda of how to present the news to you, or the new catastrophes or an event that occurs. You understand? They're watching and they're prepackaging and they're using AI, and that's what we're up against now. That's why the what you call disinformation campaigns are so thick on the internet. You have controlled opposition, meaning like, I don't know, Alex Jones, for instance, is CIA intelligence controlled in general, and will give you a little bit of truth, but won't touch on the full picture, and will rally you up to taking no action. So in the big picture, coming down from the World Economic Forum that meets in Davos every year, maybe you've heard of that, the World Economic Forum has a program called the Great Reset, okay, to reset economics of the planet, and which really equals total control of the individual. This policy filters down into the UN. So at the top level of the UN, you have the Great Reset, and you have sustainable development goals of the UN, which also is related to climate change. All right, and the sustainability goals comes down to your county and your state, your local level. All right, resiliency, climate resiliency, and so forth. And you have the smart cities, where it move everybody into the smart cities. All right, 5G, fifth generation technology, smart cities, IoT, Internet of Things, all electronic, all digitally controlled, and no cash. Your money totally digital. And your body controlled, your body monitored, your total control of your movements and your whereabouts. That's the UN program. Do you want to know the truth? That's the UN program. Nobody living in the countryside, nobody growing their own food, all food controlled. No cash, everything digital, your movements controlled, no travel allowed if you're a normal citizen. Even the Republican side, it doesn't matter. All right, it's at the constitutional level, defending the Constitution, repealing the Patriot Act, the Department of Homeland Security, which was all created directly after 9/11, and the Patriot Act being written before 9/11, and a declared state of emergency being introduced at that time and being renewed and renewed and renewed and renewed. Honestly, that's what's going on. That's the fundamental. That's what's important, is laws being introduced and the legal battle at the constitutional level of the United States. And I'm traveling in a third world country in Africa. And even here, they understand that. They know that. And by the way, traveling here, I traveled over thousands of miles of open land. There's plenty of land. We have agricultural technology. We have... How can the UN, with a straight face, talk about climate change when weather modification programs and geoengineering of this planet by your government with your tax dollars has been going on for years? All the major governments of this planet, spraying the skies, aerosols, heavy metals, geoengineering for many, many years. Check out geoengineeringwatch.org for starters, and there's many other ones. Governments have come forward, have admitted it. Committees have been convened. Fact. So how can the subject of climate change be even discussed with a straight face? That's the fundamental. If any of this rings a bell,